Hi there, it's Claire here from My Creative Spirit with a 5 days of Christmas gift idea for $5 to $10 or under a fiver if you're here in the UK. It's a design team project for Graphic 45 and we were all tasked as design team members to make a project for each one of the days, and we were allocated a specific day from the 12 days of Christmas. Saying, poem, rhyme, and I was allocated day number 5. So my gift idea is a candle in a box, and it's got the 5 days of Christmas theme to it, but also the candle itself has got, if you can see, 5 gold rings on it. So here's the video on how it all started out and came together. It's not particularly difficult, it is a bit faffy, but very easy to make. So I hope you watch this in time to make one yourself and you have fun giving it as a gift this Christmas. So the first thing to do is to make our box, and I'm using 2mm chipboard for that. It comes in, well, I buy it in A4 sheets. And this is what we're going to end up with, our candle box. So the first thing you need to do is to get your candle. And once you've bought your candle, you know what size it is. And then you need to cut a square of chipboard that's about, I've gone ½ inch bigger all the way around. And then I can put some tissue paper in the bottom of the candle box, or even a candle holder for it to stand on. And with my candle, I have already put on the wrapping, I haven't taken the plastic off the candle, the cover and the label. I've put 5 strips of double-sided score tape all the way around, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a little while. But the first thing to do is to cut your pieces out. So the sizes I've cut out are 1 square that's 3 3/4 inches square, and then 4 side pieces that are 7 1/4 inches by 7 1/4 inches by 3 3/4, same as the square in the middle. How could I forget? And we're going to put those on like that to the base. What I did do was score each one of them just on one side, so they do actually fold, but they fold outwards, but rather than cutting them both sides. So they've all got a score line, and your score lines should all be facing the same side, so it's a good idea just to bend them slightly so that you know you've got them on the right side. So the first thing we're going to do is to put the inside of the box, or put the base together and work outwards. So you need to turn your pieces over so that the score lines are on the opposite side, or facing downwards. And then I'm just using masking tape, it's what we use for decorating here in the UK, and I'm going to put, let's just move these out of the way actually, strips of masking tape. I'm just ripping it down all 4 sides, so I'm putting half on, half off. Like that. It's a good idea to use a craft mat or a non-stick mat underneath. It's not high tack, it's low tack masking tape, so it will lift off whatever you're sticking it on, but I've used a craft mat. I couldn't think what I was saying. And then your pieces, you just butt up against the edge, making sure that you've got that fold outwards. So they're all cut exactly the same size, and then I butt the piece up against the edge, it sort of sticks to the masking tape, and then I let it flop downwards and you get that really nice gap. So let's do the next one. So butt it up against the edge of your base, let it flop downwards, press it onto the masking tape. Let's do that with all four. So butt it up, oops, and let it flop down. Just making sure that your score lines are all upwards, facing you, on your side pieces. So you know that all of those sides will lift up and stand straight. And then we're going to put masking tape over the joins on the inside. It all gets covered, but if we're making a low-cost product or a low-cost project, then masking tape is probably something that you've got in the house, and it's much cheaper than all the double-sided tapes and Tyvek and all the other things that you could use to stick things together with. So make sure that that's really well stuck down, and then just lift your pieces up to make sure that they will all come together like a box, which they do. And then the next thing to do is just to trim all those edges. So trim the tape off just with a small pair of scissors, just to make neat corners. See, it's really quick. The nice thing about the masking tape as well is it's quite thin, it folds around the corners, it's not bulky. Let's just trim those off, that's it. And then we're going to do the side pieces up to, let's make sure we do it the right way, up to the score line. So let's fold them all that way. And start. I'm going to rip, it's fallen over, I'm going to rip some small pieces off and just butting them up together. First of all, I'm going to put a piece that goes around that way, and it's just under that score line. So I'm going to do that on all four sides. Let's get 4 pieces, or 3. Do another one in a minute. So hold it together. Make sure that you're just under the score line, because you don't want to stop your box from folding out. Last one. It doesn't look very interesting at the moment, does it? But it will. Okay, and then I'm just going to completely cover those edges. The reason I've put the piece on just under the fold line to start with was just to give it a bit of extra support and strength. Just rip nice and easily, and then you can just fold it round your corners. That one off. Last piece. Fold it round your corners. That one I'm just going to trim off. So then your box will fold out. Now if you want to put some tape across those fold lines, you can. it all gets hidden because we're going to paint this in a minute. But what it does do is just hide those chipboard edges. And it looks neater when it's painted. It's a bit longer. Trim that one. Let's just cut that off. I'm not measuring anything, I really am just ripping and sticking. Make sure that they're nicely stuck down as well. Let's do the last one. And then you could cover all of your edges if you wanted to with masking tape. Again, just to hide the chipboard edge. It does give it a nice finish. I'm just going to do those. So that's the box. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just put one continuous piece of tape all the way around under that score line. And then that will really hold the box together. They are quite sturdy when they're done. And then make sure that all of your edges are really well stuck down. And trim off any little sticky out bits that you might have. So that is the bottom of the box done. Oops. What's that going on? And then you do exactly the same for the lid, but the sizes for the lid are 4 inches by 4 inches for the top, and then 4 inches by 1.5 for the sides. So you start this side with all of your pieces, place them onto the tape, and then fold them up, and then put your masking tape around the inside and the outside. So that forms the lid. The next thing to do is to paint it because it doesn't look very nice, and because I'm using the 5 Days of Christmas, which is the yellow and green papers to cover my candle box, I'm going to use the Paper Artsy Holly green paint. Really lovely chalk acrylic paint, and just a paintbrush, and I'm going to paint all the edges in the dark green. So bear with me while I do that. So once your box is dry, and you should leave it so that it's completely dry, it's ready to decorate. And the papers I've used are golden rings and the back of the Swans Are Swimming paper, the green check. And I've cut my pieces 1/4 inch smaller than the sections they're going to sit on. And now I'm going to start to put them on. So I've inked all the edges with walnut stain to keep them quite dark, and I'm just using tacky glue to start putting these sections on. So inside I'm having the gold. It does stick really quickly to the chipboard, so I have to get it in the right position and then press it down. So just go around and put all of the pieces on. Make sure that you've got glue right up to the top corners. Those are the ones that will lift away, and then your box won't look so good. So it comes to life as soon as you start to put your papers on, and looks really nice. It just takes a while to put them on. Let's just unstick my fingers. Oh, wrong way. And the last one. And you'd never know it was all held together with masking tape once the papers go on. So I'm just going to carry on decorating it. I've got green squares for the inside bottom, and then I've got the same yellow for the outside and green squares from the bottom here. So that's the inside of the box covered. Looks nice, doesn't it? And now we're going to do the outside in exactly the same way. So once your box is covered, you can touch up just with a little paintbrush any bits of chipboard that you've got showing, and then you need to cover the lid as well. So it is a bit faffy, it is a bit time consuming, but it's well worth doing. So the pieces I've got for the lid are I think yellow for the inside and green for the outside, and then I used one of the Tim Holtz long dies. I can't think what they're called, it's escaped me. Decorative, are they decorative? No, they're the long strips. I put it back in the box, so, but I've cut it out of, this is the star, I've cut it out of the Golden Rings paper. I haven't decided which side I'm going to use yet, whether I'm going to use that side or that side, but that is the embellishment for the lid on the box. So let's cover the box now. So all of these pieces are cut just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the finished size of your box, and they all need to be stuck on as well. So I'll just whiz and do mine, and I'll be back in a minute. So the lid's done, box is done, now we're going to start to decorate. So I've taken some really wide green ribbon, and this is May Arts ribbon, two-tone Mayarts ribbon, which is beautiful and goes really well with the colours on the box. And I've made some little tabs to thread the ribbon through by cutting the strip off the top of the paper, the edging strip, and folding it so that I've got, it's about a 3/4 inch square, and then I've cut the corner embellishments out of the paper and stuck that on the top, and I made 4 of those. 3 are closed, so they're stuck on the back, the paper's just folded and stuck, and then the 4th one I've left open and stuck the ribbon to it with red line tape. So I'm going to start, oh, and then I've threaded the 3 onto the ribbon already. So now I'm going to use red line tape and start to stick them onto the box. So just 2 little bits of red line tape on the back of each one. Let's just cut them. I thought this would really stick fast and it wouldn't be anywhere near as messy as tacky glue. I'm out of score tape, which is a real shame because that's my favourite. And the score tape I like because you can rip it rather than having to cut it with scissors. And this one I always have a problem getting the backings off for some reason. Have I done it? No, the whole tape comes off. So apologies if this is painful to watch. Let's pull that off, start again. New piece of tape, stick it on. I've inked all the edges as well of each of these pieces with walnut stain ink. Let's just redo that one there. Okay, now we're ready to go. So tape on the back and then position that little piece at the top of the bottom section and press down, and then let's work round this way. Next one goes in the middle at the top of the side section. Excuse me. We've got colds in the house and a birthday as well. It's Harry's 16th birthday, so we've got people round for pizzas later. So I need to get a wiggle on and get the video done. Don't I, Harry? Yeah. Okay. So 2 pieces of red line tape on there. Perhaps I need a pin. Oh, that's driving me nuts. Let me get my pokey tool, always works with that. Which I should have had to start with anyway. Oh yeah, much better. 1. Spoke too soon, that's not happening. Oh, nightmare stuff. And this is half the reason why I like to use the tacky glue, because there's none of this faffing about. So ridiculous. Okay. So we'll sort the ribbon out in a minute, but this one is going to be stuck in the middle at the top of the side section here. Stick it down firmly, turn it round. Which way are we going? 1, 2, Okay, let's do this side one. Tip. I should have put these on before, shouldn't I, really? 1, 2. Cut them down. And try and get the backing papers off straight away. Oh yeah, well done. One, two. The trouble is they flick back and then stick down, don't they? That's it. So let's turn it over. And again, stick it in the middle at the top. I haven't measured, I'm just doing it by eye and then trying to stick it straight using the lines of the pattern. Now the ribbon does move freely inside there, so it can be pulled all the way around. Now the last one is moving on to the back. Let's pull the ribbon. This one I haven't stuck down because I wanted the ribbon to fold into it, which is why these have been stuck. But we do need to start to stick this one, so I'm just going to put some red line tape on part of the underneath to hold it into place, and then we can pull the ribbon how we want it all the way around and then stick the other end of the ribbon into here before it gets closed up. So let's just stick this. Stick the underside into place. So again, I've just put red line tape, as you can see on the back of it. Come off, you pesky piece. It's not happening. Ridiculous. Oh, done it. Okay. So I have to remember that this is the underside piece. So what I'm going to do is just fold it over so I can put it in to the right position, but I don't want it to stick down. Okay, so centre at the top. Let's do it with that one. It is a bit fiddly. Right, that's it. So it's only the underneath that's stuck down. And then let's put the ribbon straight. So it's going to come out like that. I've already stuck the one end inside here. So now we can pull it through, twizzle it about, so that it just catches through those sections. I've got the backing papers everywhere, never mind. Like that. Twist it round again. Can you see? So it's just flattening it out on the darker side. And you can pull it tight round the corners because these won't move. So twist it into position. I'm sure you'll find an easier way to do this. It has been a bit faffy. And then we want this piece to go neatly inside here. So I'm going to trim it off. Ooh, it's always a bit worrying. And pinch it together and then catch it on the red line tape that I've put on the inside of this tab. Let's trim a little bit more off. Not with those scissors. Possibly not with these. I've never known scissors go so blunt, but then I do use them all the time. Or so blunt so quickly. Right, so this piece I just want to catch inside there so that it doesn't come unstuck, and I'm going to put some more red line tape. Oh no, we've got tape in there. I'm just going to take the backing off. You can see it now, and then it will stick. There is another piece, but if I can't, I've done it. So 2 pieces in there, so let's pull that now and just stick those ends in. And then fold the top section down, so make sure that they're stuck in the right way. Like that. Last piece of red line tape. Harry's sneaking past. What are you doing, H? Okay, last little piece of red line tape is going on now, and the backing paper is coming off. Oh, this is like a delicate operation. Right, not happy with the way that's stuck, so let's just move it. And then stick that one down. That's it, done. What a faff that was. And then lastly, there's just a little emblem or corner embellishment to go on, and I'm just putting that on with the tacky glue. On the top like that. So that's our ribbon detail added, and that sort of covers the fold down sections of our box. And now we've just got some flower detail to go on. So I'm sure you'll know all of the papers have got beautiful corners with detail on them, especially this golden rings paper, and I've cut out all of the corner sections, and I'm going to put one on 3 sides of the box so that there's some detail all the way around, and then I'm going to use the golden rings on the front. So let's stick these on. So do a bit of fussy cutting, cut your sections and your pieces out, and then put a little bit of glue on each one. So that's the back, so let's do, I'm going to keep the back at the back. Make sure you stick them so that they're away from the fold, because you don't want them to get creased. And bear in mind the lid's going to go on, so it will cover the section at the top as well. So that's the front, not going to put anything on there at the moment. I'm going to put one across the bottom like that. Just a little bit of ink around the edges. So a little bit of glue on there. Oop. Just lining it up with the paper in the corner there. Squash it like that. And then the back one. So which one shall we use? I cut them all out. I'm going to use the roses. I love these roses. So a little bit of ink. work out which way up they go, that's it, and stick them that side. Like that. And then I'm going to put the poinsettias just on the inside, just one or two as well. There's lots to cut out. I used 2 pieces of the paper and all the little bits that I didn't cut to cover the box. I fussy cut out the little flowers. So let's do a little bit up here. Harry, pop the telly off, sweetie, if you're going now. Okay. I'm just popping them in different places so that the inside looks really nice. I've got one more. So I'm just going to pop that one on there. And then I will find the last one to go on there, which I'll probably cut out of that one. So we haven't done that yet, but we will. And then when we put our lid on, let's bring the lid back in. It fits on really nicely with the detail on the box. And all we've got to do is put the 5 gold rings on the front. At the moment I've only got 4 of them. I've lost one. I don't know where it's gone. Really can't have gone far. So I wanted the large one to sit like that, I think. There was one attached to the holly leaves, and what I thought I'd do is just thread it through like that, and so it just sticks up the side there, and then just place them so they look like they're falling. Well, how weird is that? Now we've only got 3. They must be somewhere. Let me find them and then I'll be back. Right, got all the rings now. So this one I've stuck together. So I've threaded the ring on the holly through the ring on the bow, and I'm going to stick those down first. So tacky glue everywhere. I'm going to smooth it out with my fingers, just to stick all the edges. And then I'm going to line that straight bit of the holly up with the edge. Make sure that the lid's on so that this sits under the lid, like that. And then the other rings, I'm just going to cascade down. So a little bit of glue on the back of each one. Just make sure that they're the right way up. So we'll have one there. One there, and then one at the bottom. Like that. So that's the rings on, and then I've put 5 golden rings, just the little cut out from the border at the bottom. So that's the front of the box done. And then I've got one more poinsettia to go on the inside, which I've cut out. So let's just add that. Here he is. I think his edges. Edges. We're having a seriously dropsy day today. he's going to go down there like that, not up there. And that's our box finished, inside done, and then each of the sides done with some detail, and then the front. And then for the top, let's just move that out of the way, I had a little bit of ribbon left over, so I've stapled it together just to form 3 loops, and I'm going to stick the star in the middle of it and then stick it onto the top of the box like that. So let's try the red line tape again. Everything's getting incredibly sticky, but this should hold the ribbon on, so let's just do some strips of that on the top. 1, 2. You could put a big bow on the top, you could put whatever you like, but I was just trying to use up what I'd used on the actual box. So that one on like that, and then this one just on the top. Hopefully I'm going to put red line tape on the back of it, and then I think I'm going to go that side. So tape on the back here, decorative strips, that's what they're called. Do you have that? You really can't think of anything. Can't think what you want to say. You know what it is, but you can't say it. I don't know if that's a getting old thing. It happens to me all the time. It sends me doolally. Oh. And then I have real dropsy days as well, just to go with it. I think it's an over 50 thing. Oh, God. Right, last one. Where's it gone? Done. That's it. Finished. Bring the box back in. Let's put its lid on. So put all your edges together. Pop the lid on. There it is. The 5 gold rings, and all beautifully decorated. And then the last thing to do is to cover our candle. So here's the candle with the tape round, just 5 strips of 1/4 inch score tape, and I'm just going to take the backing papers off, she says. Trim that little end off. Next one, I have to find the ends. There. So you want to put 5 rings around your candle and make sure that the ends join or overlap, so you've got no gap. It should be quite easy, but of course for me it's not. Come on. Oh, that's it done. Okay. And then I'm using Mega Flake, the Indigo Blue Mega Flake. I've only got copper kettle. I've got blues, I've got greens, I've got all sorts of colours, but no gold. So I'm going with rose gold. And all you do is just put the flake over the tape. Just press it on. Have it in a little bowl. Pop it on, and then just while you're working round, rub off any excess as you go, and that will go back into your bowl or tray. Make sure that you cover all of the tape. This is quite nice, there's no sticky involved, your fingers aren't covered in glue, so you don't get covered in the Mega Flake. Just work it all the way around and make sure that all your rows of tape are covered. It is static, so it will attach itself to the wrapping on your candle, but you can get that off later. So just work your hand round and get all of the little bits off. And then take your scoochy sponge and just rub it very lightly over your strips of tape, and that gets all of those big bits off and leaves you with 5 gold rings. Or in my case, 5 rose gold rings. So this is the sponge that comes with the flitter glue and the Mega Flakes from Indigo Blue. So keep rubbing. Until it's all nice and smooth. Whoops. And there you are, 5 gold rings on your candle. So, as I said, the rings have gone onto the cover plastic of the candle, so that they are flammable. So I didn't put them straight onto the candle. They do come off when you take the plastic off. So let's move that out of the way. Put the bits back in the pot. Bring the box back in. Tidy up the candle. Oh no, now the lid's got stuck. Take the lid off. I've put some tissue paper inside. It is a bit bright yellow, it's all I had, but you could put any colour. And then the candle sits really nicely in there and it won't wobble about. And then let's put our lid on. And that's it. That is where's our front? Here. 5 days of Christmas gift for $5 to $10. Probably about £5 here for all the bits and pieces in the UK. So a really good economical gift made with gorgeous papers, and I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.